again, this is another company who has presented here before, something that a lot of you have asked for. People are here now and who come on a regular basis want to hear from the companies after they've been at it for a year or so. And this particular company was asked for a lot, and we have two representatives. We have Leah White and Maria Jacobides from Route 247, so please welcome Maria.
I'm Lisa.
Sorry.
It's all right. Hello and welcome. And it's a pleasure to be back here. We've got some awesome supporters in the back. We're especially happy to see you, and we'll give them a shout out later. This is going to be formatted a little bit differently than our first presentation, but let's get right to it. So every 26 seconds, a student drops out of high school. It's a biting enough statistic, but what does it mean to those of us who are not necessarily on the front lines of education? Well, let's just look at it a little bit differently. Every class of ungraduated students costs our economy over $200 billion in lost income and tax revenue over the course of their lifetime. Add to that, roughly 75% of our incarcerated population are high school dropouts, and this small statistic starts to mean big things. Why is this happening? This is by no means an exhaustive list, but it does start to tease out some of the reasons. So we need education that responds to students' interests. We need to observe what the popular trends are, and we need to bring those into the classroom. We need to do better at figuring out what is motivating our students, because grades are no longer reaching the masses. Students need ways to track their non-academic progress. They're no different from adults. When we can see ourselves move from point A to point B, from point B to point C, when we can see that progress, we're more likely to stay engaged, we're more likely to stay motivated. And we need to increase hands-on learning experiences. Why? Because that allows students the ability to translate what they're learning in the classroom to a real-world context. How do we propose to do this? At Route 247, we believe in the old adage, it takes a village to raise a child. So we've constructed a virtual village, an online platform that brings parents, students, teachers, and the community together. So imagine I'm a student, I log into my customized, personalized profile, and I see a host of challenges. These challenges can be within or outside of my school. What do I mean by challenge? Actually, opportunities. Opportunities can be challenges, volunteering, internship, employment, event attendance, scholarships. And why do we want this web-based? Because web-based allows for more accessibility, flexibility, and equity. So now I have my personalized profile, I'm completing all these opportunities, and they all get logged in my virtual portfolio. This portfolio allows me to monitor my progress along the way. It's also exportable, so that when I graduate, I can send it to colleges, I can send it to potential employers, or if I'm seeking other postgraduate opportunities, I can use it there as well. And it's done within a network. Why a network? Well, think of Facebook, PayPal, LinkedIn. There is a cultural shift towards networks. People will barely even buy like gloves or a scarf without going on Amazon first to see the reviews. So we are shifting towards that network mentality. In this network, students are connecting to the peers within their school, in other schools, to parents, to teachers, to organizations, businesses, the community at large. But it's done in a safe, secured, and monitored environment. And then, of course, there is that incentives component. Incentives that keep students motivated throughout the year. It's not the crux of the program, but it is especially important for those harder to reach students, bringing them back into engagement. Circling back down here to these opportunities, let's flesh those out just a little bit more. There are three facets to the program. We sort of touched on the internal, again, within the school, the external, outside of the school, so those provided by businesses or community members. But what happens when a school licenses this program, every student is automatically enrolled. But let's say that they choose not to capitalize on the internal or external opportunities. That's why we have this sort of checks and balances. These Route 247 block sessions occur once a month in school, during school hours, where every student comes together in their Route 247 teams to complete these team challenges. The curriculum for these team challenges is designed to foster life skills, and that way we ensure that should a student choose not to capitalize on the other opportunities, at least once a month we are able to captivate their attention. We know that there's a market size for this. In Hampton Roads alone, there's over 60,000 high school students. broaden that to a national view, there's 15 million in public schools, an additional 5 million in private, and the ever-growing number of homeschoolers topping out over 340,000. Our revenue model, this pie shifts a little bit, but the cost will stay the same. It's $10 per student per year. Let's take a different look at this and go to the next one. So growth projection. Our costs are front-loaded, of course. This is technology-based, so it's the initial investment that's providing the biggest hurdle. You'll see over here that we double the amount of students, but the profit spikes. Why is that? Because this doubling the amount of students only costs us one additional staff member. But in the profit-wise, it just spikes. Okay, so let's take that to the next one. Because when we say profit, what do we mean? We're a 501c3. So this profit goes where it should, and it's back into the program. We want to improve student and teacher trainings on a continual basis. We want to create scholarships, unorthodox scholarships, like for an apprenticeship or for certificate programs. We want to provide better incentives that are going to continue to keep those students engaged. We want to continue to refine the technology, make sure it's user-friendly, make sure it's aesthetically pleasing, make sure it's manageable on the administrative end. And we want to continue to grow the program. Milestones so far, we were very fortunate to take our first deployment of technology, courtesy of Feedback Enterprises in the back, who worked with us on the very, very, very short timeline to create an incredible product. We took that first deployment at 3 different school levels: First Colonial High School, Thorogood Elementary, and Brandon Middle School, more heavily focused at First Colonial High School, and these are the numbers from First Colonial. We went in there, and after 3 days of promotion, we had over 425 students show interest in a leadership role. Over 425 students showed interest in a leadership role. After selection and application, 162 of those were trained. Those 162 students then ran a very successful freshman orientation program where we had 405 incoming 9th graders come to the school 3 days before school actually started and engage with their student leaders. It was extremely, extremely successful, and we can go into why that particular program is so important. And then by October, we had 684 total student accounts, 70 teacher accounts, because there is a way for teachers to get involved in this, even though it is a student-run program. And by November, 570 virtual submissions. And now we've received confirmation from the Virginia Beach Superintendent's Office that they are advocating for this program. We will be actually presenting to a more extended version of that on Friday. And we continue to make partnerships in the community to flesh out and make the system more robust and beneficial to both the students, the community, parents, teachers, and everybody on a whole. So where we are right now, as we said, we did the first deployment. We're looking to upgrade the technology, and that's going to be a significant upgrade, but as I said before, our costs are front-loaded. We want to then extend our beta test year into 16-17 with 5 to 7 more schools, and then do a more robust full-scale launch 2017-18 in about 11 schools in the Hampton Roads area, where we take all of this and get going on a larger scale. Okay? I think that's it. Oh, yeah.
I want to finish with that final question. I know there's a lot of people here who want to help you succeed. What can we do to help Route 247? Do you need access to nonprofit fundraisers? Do you need us to each pitch in $100 and sponsor 10 kids? What do you guys need?
Both of those ideas would be great, actually. So yes, we are in our funding stage, and we are aggressively seeking this high amount that you saw on the screen earlier. So any connections with people who are looking to change the educational landscape or who are looking to expand their markets, be involved with something truly innovative that is going to help reach our goal, 12 million students nationwide. That's where we would like to see this program go. It is possible, and it's all through this virtual village.
Awesome, thank you.